Hi, fellow UFO hunters, UFO enthusiasts, and anyone who believes. I am making my first video, and the reason I'm making this one, a personal one, is because I wanted to share with you why I decided to start UFO Scientifica. Uh, the reason is because I did see a UFO. It changed my whole life. It happened 5 years ago, and it's taken me a while to obviously come out and onto YouTube and talk about it because I had a lot of backlash from family who didn't believe me. It was really hard for me because then I started, disbelieving myself. So hopefully, me talking about it will also help other people come out and talk about their experiences, because it is real and they're out there. So I did write notes. I've had notes, since it started. It's in my mind like it happened yesterday. But, writing notes keeps it fresh in my mind and able to help me stay focused as I tell you my story. Okay. So my sighting happened on April 4th, 2021. It was an overcast Easter Sunday, and I had just gotten off the phone with my friend. And leaving my phone downstairs, I ran upstairs to go use the bathroom. My unit is like a tri-level, so I have a downstairs and an upstairs. And I had the window open in the bathroom. And as I don't know, something maybe look out the window. Something just, drew my attention. And as I looked out the window, there was a enormous, to me, UFO just hovering there. It was the size, length of a bus. It was just a silver metallic disc. And I took in every detail I could while I was standing there. I was excited. Um, I didn't feel nervous. I felt really intrigued and curious because I knew it wasn't something deep inside me knew this was not something from our world. There was no wings, no sound, no seams, no bolts. It was completely smooth. And as I stood there just taking it in, I also really, I didn't see any emblems to identify it. Then as I kept watching, I also noticed that on the left end of it, there was like a reflection of sun. And that made me really think for a second because it, like I said, it was overcast outside. And it was facing my building. There was no way there was sun reflecting off of it. So that was unusual to me. And then also, as I took in that, I started seeing these little windows like materialize, is all I can use the word, is there were little squares, that little like gray squares that just started appearing um, along the metallic disc. And that's when I really didn't know what to do. I just kind of, you know, all of a sudden I had this thought like, oh gosh, they're looking at me. I didn't know who they were, what they were. And so I turned my head just for a second, not really wondering, is this really happening right now? And in a second of turning back, it was gone. It just had disappeared. There was once again no noise, nothing to, um, make it where it would be something from our world, because our stuff always has motors and engines and noise, and sure there's stealth things out there, but I still think there would be bolts and seams, and there would be man-made construction on those craft. Um, so let me go to the next page because I want to make sure I tell as much as I can on this video, and then I'll be sharing more on upcoming videos. Okay, so for months I, was wondering what this was, and a few months later, it was really strange. I left to go out onto drive onto the main street. It was early in the morning to go to work, and there was a white partition blocking the road, and I could see sheriffs with their guns drawn. Um, and so I went around the long way, and I went and drove in front of the area, and it was also partitioned off on the other side. And I don't know why, but I started wondering if it was related to what I had seen. I got to work and I called. I looked on the news. There was nothing on the news. I called a news channel, a very popular news channel, and I let them know, hey, there's some kind of standoff going on in my area. And I told them where I was, and they said, no, we don't have anything going on over there. And I said, well, I saw it. Something's happening. And the newscaster, or whoever answered the phone, said that they are notified of all of this from the police department and the sheriff's department, and there was nothing that they got notified about. So I felt really uneasy about that because I knew something was going on, and I even followed up later on social media, Facebook, checking the police blotter. Of they had this section like what happened while you were sleeping. Things that happened while you were sleeping last night. And there was nothing. Again, I never went to the police department and asked them because I didn't feel comfortable doing that. I felt like if it wasn't ending up on the news and it wasn't something that I could readily find online, then maybe I wasn't supposed to, maybe the public wasn't supposed to know. So, like I said, this was in 2021. And so the next video will be delving deeper into what I I found that I was told is who they were. I did a lot of meditation and praying for months and months, wanting to know who this was. And so I will be covering that in future videos. But I would really like to hear your UFO stories, your comments, your take on all of this. Um, like I said, it's life changing when something like this happens to you. I mean, I read about UFOs. Um, it changed me so much. I even went to a UFO conference in Arizona with MUFON. I got involved with MUFON. Uh, I'm still friends with a whole lot of people there. I had to actually stop volunteering because I was working so much, but um, I decided I wanted to go forward now and do more research because it is very important to me, and I feel that maybe that's what I was supposed to do in the beginning, and I just put it to the side because of the way I was treated, like I said, by family, and it's something that's important to me, and especially now that there's supposed to be disclosure happening, which I really am excited about. um, I think it's time to like start opening up and talking about this more and sharing our stories more. So please, like I said, like my channel, subscribe, share your experiences, and give me your comments. And let's all go do this together. Let's get into this and delve deeper. And maybe we can all. I just say, let's all just be friends. Let's just like whatever's coming to try and meet us, let's meet them and greet them with open arms and do this. Okay, welcome to UFO Scientifica. I am so happy you're here. Thank you for watching my video, and you have a great day.